Though the truth may vary, this ship will carry our bodies safe to shore.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Meet the Editors session of EURAM. Okay, we start on time, and what I mean is French time, namely 7 minutes after the hour, and this is fine. Of course, some people coming from the other buildings, and it was 7 minutes will be okay. I would like to start now with the session. All our lives, academic lives, depends very much on the publish or perish cliché. And it is cliché because it is true. So we want to publish, and we want to publish in the right journal. But quite a few of us, even the experienced one, are not always sure about the how. And yes, why this journal, why not another one? What does it take to get into this or that journal? And the aim of this session is to help us all to understand better about these journals. And of course, tomorrow we have also 2 parallel sessions that are more focused on specific issues. Today we have more general management organization journals. So the order will be like that. Every editor will have up to 10 minutes to talk about his or her specific journal. And after that, it will be open to you for your own questions and possibly our answers. So we'll go, because alphabetical order is a nice thing to go for, we'll go the reverse order, and according to the name of the editor. So we have a Li-Qun way that represents Journal of Management Studies. We have Titah Ryad that represents Organization Studies. You have Jason Shaw representing Academy of Management Journal. We have Barney representing Academy of Management Review. And of course, our own journal, European Management Review, is represented by the new editor-in-chief, Professor Yochanan Altman. So, Ray, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Representing journalism studies, I'm here maybe firstly talk about some basic facts. You may know, you may not familiar if you ever submitted. Okay, it's good, but may not. I will talk a little bit about this journal. I'm Li-Qun from Hong Kong Baptist University, and I'm a survey editor. How this journal actually is different from others. We are UK-based journal. I think you know that very well. And we have a really long history among all other journal and journal. And I think it's in terms of ranking or other stuff. I think there's some basic statistics you can see from here. I don't want to elaborate. I mean, some around the top in the UK, French, or maybe the Australian kind of journal list. How we differ from others, actually, so far we still use the e-submission system. That means the advantage is that you may have someone there, responding to you for any inquiries. Of course, you have to submit to email address, and that's the thing where we are, of course, still debating is pros and cons. But anyway, so far you can contact, without editorial kind of stuff. And one thing a little bit unique to this journal that we cannot publish as DMS, as editors during the term, actually. And we have another even more unique rule. It's called a second editor rule, that when your paper close to maybe like the condition accept stage, and we will have that editor, the second editor, step in to provide comments at the end, right? So this is a thing that we emphasize to make sure the quality of the package eventually will be quite consistent. I mean, some quality, right? So this is a thing really unique to our journal. What we publish, besides the regular articles and maybe the special issue you all know very familiar, we also have essays, we have all kind of points, review articles as well. I think if you try to, notice that from our website or from the published hard copies as well, you can see that was says, I think it's a very short kind of essay talking about some specific topic, very interesting, very kind of thoughtful, provocative. You can see from this example that we're talking about health and well-being. The title is "We're sorry to hear you were unwell." I mean, it sounds to be kind of very interesting, and we try to make it link it to the manual practice. And this is a counterpoint, also valid kind of essay, right? It's some scholars, they try to, provide their ideas for maybe focus on a certain topic, but they are arguing based on different perspective. You can also see that there's a talk about, global value chain, and they different bunch of scholars, they try to argue from different professors. And this kind of debate is that dialogue is very kind of much, not really interesting. You try to be thoughtful for us to further understand, for maybe the overall area of certain literature. Review article, I think a lot of journals publish as well. We also publish review articles, and we call for that regularly. I think if you're interested, you can consider this is a CSR, review stuff. Yeah, our submission is more stable in the recent years. It's around 900. Before, after we joined like the FTE, seems like quite stable in between 800 to 1,000. This our submission. In the different area, you can see we have, it's around half from European countries, and then North America and Asia now is trying to divide it half, right? We see a lot of increases in different areas. And this is overall the whole review process of our reads. You can see that, how many is still in the progress in on all. And what was the rejection rate here? Overall, the rejection rate is 58%. In the Li-Qun, still another 31% rejected. So currently the acceptance rate is 5%. And we are trying to maintain the average of 3 days for making the initial decision. And afterwards, in about 3 months, we make the first round review. It's quite stable. We try to make it right. And your paper will we reach acceptance within like 1-2 years eventually. Right, go through the whole process, including the second editor review, as I mentioned just now. We publish 20 to 40 papers every year, besides the special issue, among the 800 to 900 submissions in total. So you see that, right? And a lot of special issues that we're recently publishing, actually, we accept proposals for special issue every year twice, like end of March and September. So this is a recent issue. You can see the topic. For your area, you can see something really interesting about that. Yeah, and you can check all of this from our website or our other social media. If you're working in corporate entrepreneurship or working on other various firms, digital age, you can consider. Try to check through all this social media, including the website. We also hold some kind of special conference every 2 years. The recent one we just done in Babson College in this April, and the topic is diversity. Right? If you're interested in that, we are now already call for papers for this special issue. Also, we do a lot of workshops upon, of course, the request of the universities. We just finished, the series 1 in China. We went to China, across the whole China, 80 universities to do the workshops. Development purpose in it's very much kind of positive feedback received. They try to know the journal and how to craft their conclusions for top journals. I think they need development, so that's why we try to meet the demand. Yes, and we're now here, right, for this regular conferences, major conferences. So we have all different kind of receptions, activities, and you can see the editors there. And you have questions, specifically anything about the journal, you can ask. I think that's the chance for you to contact this journal. About the review process, I think like all other good journals, I think it's around 2 to 4 times for the R&R. I think this typical kind of around numbers. And Ryad, of course, it's a double-blind review, and I think, time from acceptance to appear in the journal is around 1 year. Even less, this is some basic facts. What do we publish? I mean, as a general manual journal, we publish quite broadly under the general, the manual topics are like almost all, like OT, OB, HR, strategy, IB, essentially, right? We are not, really critical about any aspect, like in terms of qualitative and quantitative, we try to balance. And of course, we also publish theoretical papers, review papers already mentioned. And we will look for, I think, of course, theoretical contribution is always the most important thing for any top journal. So, of course, the methodological rigor. And we also, maybe put a little more emphasis about the novelty of a topic, right? I think this is the thing we try to emphasize. Any surprising, challenging in the papers, maybe more will count. Finally, for the juniors, maybe the senior doctors and students, what can come reasons for rejection? Of course, you need to have, show clear, significant contribution, of course, methodological rigor. If you don't have a very clear literary framework, I think it's more likely you'll be rejected. For research paper. And we emphasize, of course, on the mandatory implication. That's the thing. We will say, important, though may not be equally important, but it's quite important for this, for the paper published in a journal. Yes, that's the thing. Maybe I will try to brief, and then later on we should try to save more time for you to maybe answer questions. Okay, thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here this morning on behalf of Trish Rea and Daniel Hort, who are the editors of Organization Studies and who were not able to make it this year to EURAM. So I will try to give you a clear overview of Organization Studies, where I have been serving as senior editor since 2012. Organization Studies is a Financial Times list publication which is published in collaboration with the European Group of Organization Studies. As of 2016, the one-year impact factor of the journal was 3.1, and its 5-year impact factor was close to 4.8. The ranking of the journal, according to the JCR discipline rankings, was 39th out of 194, according to its one-year impact factor, and 32nd out of 186 for the 5-year impact factor. So what are the key distinctive features of Organization Studies? So the journal publishes peer-reviewed, top-quality theoretical and empirical research with the aim of promoting the understanding of organizations, organizing and the organized in and between societies. Organization Studies is a multidisciplinary journal rooted in the social sciences and open to paradigmatic plurality. What is an ideal contribution for Organization Studies? And this may, of course, apply to the other journals represented here. So ideally, a paper needs to make a theoretical contribution to Organization Studies. It needs to have a feel of excitement, novelty, or engagement. It can be playful, critical, challenging, subversive at times, but it must fully participate in the debate in Organization Studies. It must, however, be very careful about its underlying theoretical assumptions and needs to offer the readers the opportunity to see new theoretical concepts or the extension of existing ones. So here are some facts about the acceptance rates within the journal. So as you can see, the mean acceptance rate for the between 2013 and 2016, and it hasn't changed so far, is between 4 to 7%, with a desk reject rate of 61%. We have, on average, 2.8 reviewers assigned per paper for each paper submitted to the journal, and the average review time, excluding the time where the paper is with the editors, is of about 37 days. So when is a manuscript ready to be submitted to organization studies? So these are things that you all know very well, but I would like to stress one thing. The paper needs to fit the journal. We're still receiving a lot of papers where even in the letters to the letter to the editors, we're seeing the authors citing or addressing the papers to other journals and organization studies. So yes, so this is quite important. So what type of manuscript does organization studies publish? So we have 4 types of papers. Empirical papers that are based on qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods. Conceptual papers, which are papers without data that develop new theory or extend existing theory. We have a section that is called X and Organization Studies, which I will explain in a minute. A section called Perspectives, which is a very focused review paper on a topic that is closely connected with organization studies, and also a methods section where we accept methodological papers. So the section called X and Organization Studies is, so these are essay papers that focus on the topic X to bear upon the world of organization studies, and the topics have been those not considered to be within the field but germane to it. They all carry the same title, so X and Organization Studies, and you have a few examples of them. Some of them have been published and some are still under review. The section called Perspectives focus on a particular topic of interest and explaining the genealogy of debate about this topic, and they provide a description and explanation of 6 to 7 papers from the archives of org studies, plus other relevant work. And the perspective papers are designed to bring readers up to date on the topic of interest and provide comments and suggestions for future directions, including attention to emerging themes and research problems. They are made available on the org studies website as a free download bundle, and so you have a paper plus 6 or 7 papers. So the editors would be happy to discuss any potential future topics with you, if you have any, so please let us know by email, or if you want to have a chat during the conference, I'd be happy to do that. So currently we have the following perspective papers: Strategy and Practice, Sense-Making, Comparative Institutionalism, Agency and Institutions, Entrepreneurship, Strategy and Institutional Complexity, and a perspective on Foucault's work. The journal also publishes special issues, 3 special issues per year. One of them is tied to the Org Studies Summer Workshop and is chosen by the editors-in-chief. So the deadlines to submit the special issues are the 31st of January and the 30th of September. If you need further information about the special issues, you can email the editor, which is Sofia, at the address below. The special issues with papers currently under review or in production process are projected on the screen. They're here. Thank you. So the one issue is just out, which is about the material and visual turn in organization theory, objectifying and reacting to novel ideas. Under review, we have inequality, institutions and organizations, uses of the past, history and memory in organizations and organizing, advancing organization studies in family business research, exploring the multi-level complexity of family organizations, and spirituality, symbolism, and storytelling. And I think that one of the special editors is here. You're one of them. The last special issues currently under review or in production are government and the governance of business conduct, the hidden life of categories, emergence, maintenance, and change in organizations, and food organizing matters, paradoxes, problems, and potentialities. The upcoming call for papers are listed here, and if you need to have them, I'd be happy to send them to you as well. So the next deadline is the 30th of June, so, which might be a bit late if you haven't seen it before. So and is about organizational control and surveillance of new work practices. The following one in September 2018 is on connectivity in and around organizations. For October 2018, responding to displacement, disruption and division, organizing for social and institutional change. And for March 2019, we have a special issue on power and performativity as interweaving dynamics of organizing. Thank you very much.
Move now to Jason Shaw that will tell us about the Academy of Management Journal.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And first, let me offer a little bit of apology for being a little bit late. I pride myself on being early, and so I was very proudly here very early and sitting outside of the wrong room and thinking I was so much more punctual than all of the other editors and the audience, as no one was coming. Anyway, I figured it out eventually and made it over here. My name is Jason Shaw, and I'm the editor of AMJ. And I suppose many of you will know something about Academy Journal, but you most probably haven't taken a very close look at the mission statement recently. But like the other editors have mentioned, we are a mission-driven journal, and we design our review process with a heavy eye toward the mission statement of the journal. The mission of the journal is to publish empirical research that tests, builds, or extends management theory, and as a second step that has some relevance to the practice of management. So there are a few key features of the AMJ mission that are quite important to us on the editing team. One is the type of theoretical contribution that the paper offers. And we leave this open. I mean, there are a variety of ways that you can make a theoretical contribution. If you look at the trends, what most people are doing, I would say the emphasis tends to be on theory extension or theory expansion type papers. This might be adding some more explanatory power to existing perspectives or attempting to integrate theory or something like this. But there are a variety of ways to do it. For example, you could build your own novel or unique perspective, and you can also test theory and attempt to submit it to the journal, make a theoretical contribution this way. Perhaps the first test of a theory or a better or more precise test. There are a variety of ways that authors are attempting to demonstrate a theory contribution and are finding success at doing it. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about submitting your paper to AMJ, that there are a variety of ways of making such a contribution, and it's up to the authors to make